What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. It's been a long last couple weeks in building this and getting it all put together and everything. Little problems here and there, and like the machine shop being stupid and messing me over like 3 times, and I don't know, it's just kind of been a nightmare. But it is all finished and it is pretty much ready to go in the car. So Joel's coming over right now. We're gonna hopefully get this in the car tonight. Not too sure about the first start. We might. It's only 9:30, so I'm up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning anyways. So I mean, might be able to get that first start in tonight. Still need to go to Walmart and get some oil. I need 7 quarts for 1 oil fill up, oil change. So I'm going to get 14 quarts of oil and 2 oil filters, and we're going to go ahead and throw all the oil in, do a break-in startup, rev it up to like 2,000 RPMs or something like that, let it idle there for 15-20 minutes, and then turn the car off, let it cool down a little bit, drain off all the oil, and then put all new oil in, and it'll be semi-broken in. I'm expecting a decent amount of metal shavings in that oil, but I'm expecting that, so I'd rather have good expectations and not see any oil at all. But I would rather see no oil, but we'll see. So I ended up fixing the transmission issue. 1999 blocks and 2000 blocks, at least LQ4s that I know of for sure, came with the long style crank. It is longer by 0.4 of an inch. Anyway, y'all seen a video of that earlier, but the way that I ended up fixing that is I got bell housing to block spacers to space out the transmission just a little bit more. So since it's 0.4 inches longer, I can't find a 0.4 inch spacer. I bought 2 1/4 inch spacers to make it a 1/2 inch. That's what this color difference is here. You got the black block, you got the spacers, then you got the transmission here. So those have pushed transmission back about 1/2 inch, and then I also did counter the slave, and I pulled it up about 0.12 of an inch, just to get it that full throw that I need in order to push the clutch in all the way. So I did that. I also got a new starter as well, which is not here. Don't know where it is. This is the old starter off the 5.3 liter. It's from a 2003 Tahoe. So this one had the regular short style crank, if you will, and this one is a starter off of a 1999 LQ4 6 liter. So this one is the long crank style. Now I'll try to hopefully get these in the camera and show you the differences, at least in size. So I'm going to match up these flanges here, and you can see the one on the I don't even know, this one over here, the shiny one, I'll just go with that. The shiny one is taller by just a little bit. This is really hard to do, but anyway, since this one's taller, it compensates for that 0.4 inches of extra crank length. So it ends up pushing the starter wheel, the engagement wheel, out just a little bit more, and I get all the teeth on the starter to fully engage on the flywheel. Yeah, so now we just gotta wait till Joel gets here, and then hopefully I can set the camera up and I can kind of do a little time lapse of putting the engine in the car. Oh, and I also got really good news. Guess what I got for my camera? New battery charger and 2 new batteries. So I've got the battery that's the camera's running on right now, and then I've also got these 2 other batteries here as well, so that if the camera dies, I can't, I'm not just gonna stop filming. I'm gonna chuck these bad boys in there and keep going. The problem that I'm having now is that the battery in the camera right now that it's running on is so bad, it doesn't tell me the battery life up at the top of the screen, and I'll just be sitting here recording just like this, and all of a sudden it just click, turns off, and then it'll say, change out your battery, and of course that ruins perfectly good, footage that I'm in the middle of doing, and my hands are all dirty and stuff like that. So most of the time when it does that, I just say screw it. You know, like I was putting the clutch on. I couldn't find any videos on YouTube on how to put on a twin disc clutch, at least for the original Street Twin, on an LS motor. So I figured that I would, you know, throw it into one of my videos and, you know, do that. But I don't have a good enough camera battery, I guess, to record all that stuff. So I ended up not getting the footage for it, and I'm not going to take this transmission back off just to record that. So yeah, what you see is what we got so far. But anyway, I'm excited to put this thing in the car.
Inside my head there's a little place left for you. What do you know? What do you know? And all I want is to find out what you're going through. What do I know? Maybe the silence is dangerous. I wanted to hide, no, I just wanna find you, feel what's inside you. I wanna come over and see what you found, see if you're hurting, after tearing me down. It's the rain of denial.
Alright guys, welcome back. It's been a minute. I got those new camera batteries, so I was waiting for them to charge, and of course I didn't really get a lot of good screen timing, if you will, but I did get everything all bolted up and everything, and I got the first start video. I'll go ahead and post that up right now. But I went ahead and bolted everything up, got the turbo on, downpipe on. An issue that I do have right off the bat is I got these new coil pack brackets, and they set the coil packs up just a little bit higher because the thickness of that gas, or not the gasket, excuse me, the thickness of that coil pack bracket is thicker than the stock one, which is somewhere in this mess. Where did that thing go? Ah, here it is. Found it. It's in the Garbaggio. But anyway, the thickness is much different than that one. So those coil packs on the old bracket in the trash sat a lot lower. But now the coil packs and the spark plug wires touch the downpipe just a little bit, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. Keyword shouldn't. But anyway, put water in the radiator. I just got it up to operating temp, and it sits there flawlessly. It's about 190 to 200 roughly. I do have a small water leak right here from the water pump, so I will have to investigate that. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and try to back it out, see if it'll move under its own power, and maybe back it back into the driveway here, and see if I could change the oil, because I've had it start a couple times, got to get up to operating temp, and now it's time to change the oil and put new oil in. So go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll see y'all then. Start your engines! Oh, good old Scotty Kilmer. I love that man. He's good. I think he lives in Houston. Fine. Don't wave back. Okay. I'm getting fat. I don't sit in the seat very well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and install some automatic transmission fluid into this T56. Yes, it uses ATF. There's a big sticker on the side that says use Dextron 3 automatic transmission fluid. So that is what we're going to use today. So can't really see this very well, but I'm just going to go ahead and send this. So what you're going to want to do first, I'm going to close this. Maybe you can see a little better. Got to take off the shifter first. So, to do that, already tidy lifty. I'm going to break something if I do it that way. Pulls right out, two 13mm nuts. This is the stock Hurst shifter off of the T56. And then you're going to want to take off this boot that goes in between the transit tunnel and the shifter location. It's like a little dust boot deal. Alright, here's your little dust boot I was telling you about. So now you can see everything down here. In my handy dandy pocket I've got a 13mm, which I believe is the size of the bolts that hold the actual shifter into place. Yep, that's them. And there's the shifter. Looks alright. On the dirty side, but that's okay. So now you can see everything in a tranny. And you're going to want to go ahead and schmack-a-rooney some oil, some ATF in here. So it calls for 4 quarts to 4. It's either 4.2 or 4.8, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw 4 in there because that's what everybody says. They say just under 4 quarts, then 4 to 4.5, 4.8, 4.2, something like that. The right way and correct way to do all this is to put the car on level ground, get up underneath it, jack it up to where it's level, and there's a little fill hole at the side. What you do is you get one of those little screw top pump deals where you just pump it in there and it goes all in until it starts, coming out the side. That's how you know it's full. But people say that's exactly pretty much 4 quarts. So I'm gonna throw exactly 4 quarts in, which is a gallon, and we should be good. So hopefully I don't make a freaking mess. I'm gonna be pretty sad if I do. Ha! No mess so far. Now you're gonna want to do this really slow because it does not go into the transmission as fast as it comes out of this. Like all that stuff that I just filled right now is still draining. Still draining. Still draining. Still draining. Alright, now it's good. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any fluid on the ground. It'd be pretty sad, which I've done this before. I've gone to put fluid in something and realized that I never did close the drain bolt. When I had my Camry, a lot of you may or may not know about my Camry. I had a 1996 Toyota Camry. My mom bought it about 6 months or so before I was born, and bought it brand new off the... Oh, crap. I am spilling right here, but that's alright. Oh, it's not alright. It's all over the place. I'll finish the story in a second. Anyway, as I was saying, I used to have a 1996 Toyota Camry V6 with an automatic in it. My mom bought it about 6 months before I was born, and it was just the family car, you know, at that point. When I was born at the hospital, my first vehicle I ever rode in was the Camry. I rode home in the back seat like 2 or 3 days after I was born. So it was always very close in my family, and my mom ended up getting a 2011 Honda Pilot, and that was her new daily driver. And so whenever I turned 16, she gave me the Camry. So it all started with cars for me. Whenever I was 16, I got the Camry. The Camry had really, really bad struts. There's a freeway in Houston called the Piers Elevated. It's on 45 South, right in the middle of downtown. And if you've ever driven on that freeway, you know how bad it is. It bounces like this. And the problem is that the struts were so bad. Every time I hit one of those bounce or little hills or incline deals, one of the bumps. Whenever I hit one of the bumps, I would the spare tire well in the Camry would smack the ground, and it wasn't fun. I ended up having to go like 10, 15, 20 miles an hour over those bumps in order to safely and efficiently go over that road. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna need not tires. I'm gonna need suspension. I'm gonna need new struts, new springs. I'm gonna need all that jazz. So I went to a shop down the street from my house. I was like, hey, I need new struts. How much is it going to cost, and how long will it take? Because I had a job then, and I needed to get to work and everything like that. Well, they wanted to charge me what was it? It was like $1,500. $1,500 to replace the struts, and I was like, well, all right, I'll come back to you on that. So I came home that day, and I told my mom and dad, and they're like, oh, sorry, you're on your own. It's your car, your expenses, and everything else like that, which I didn't really think was fair at the time because, I worked at a frickin' frozen yogurt shop, made minimum wage, $7.25, and wasn't very, reasonable, and it was kind of impossible for me to save up that much money to, just to spend on, that car. So I was like, cool, all right, what do I do now? What if I did it myself? Anyway, so what I went and did was I went home, hopped on YouTube, and searched on how to replace struts in a 96 Camry. And there was like 4 or 5 videos on how to do it. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Shouldn't be that hard. So I went on eBay, searched it up, found some struts for the Camry for like $300. And then also found another set of struts that had the springs on them as well, already installed for like $500. I was like, okay, how do you install springs on struts? Anyways, did a week or two worth of research, and my parents said that they would help me with that and not the $1,500 charge, which is a lot better in my opinion. So I said, screw it. My dad had a decent amount of tools, and my grandfather had a decent amount of tools as well, and he had recently passed away back then. So went to my grandparents' house at the time, and they had a little carport, and so it was nice. Kept me out of the shade, or out of the sun, kept me in the shade, and I would drive over there and I'd jack the car up and I'd start taking things apart after everything came in the mail, and I got it done. It took about a week to change out struts in my Camry. But long story short, I ended up getting done, and that is what started me on the whole train of, working on cars and, enjoying myself while doing it. My girlfriend at the time hated that, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, so I got the struts installed and started doing some other stuff. Me being a ricer at the time, I was like, screw it, I'm putting cold air intake on the Camry and all that other stuff, and maybe an exhaust and everything. I'll make it be at least cool, because it is a Camry. Might as well make it cooler than what it really is. And of course, that's when I met one of my best friends, Nick. He had a 06 Sonata. He was kind of in the same boat as me. He put an intake on that thing, and did an exhaust and all sorts of other cool stuff. And I met him at school, and we started hanging out and started realizing what coilovers were. And anyway, eventually I went ahead and got coilovers for the Camry, put those on, and then really wanted a 5-speed, so I researched a 5-speed swap and put a 5-speed in the car, and then I ended up boosting it. So long story short of everything, I ended up having a boosted 5-speed swap Toyota Camry. And honestly, I don't even know where I was going with this story, but that was my very first car, and that was the previous car before this one. If you follow me on Instagram at DrewKing96 and you scroll down a ways, you'll see the Camry. It was one of the cleanest Camrys I had ever seen. That was the whole reason of me building it, is I got tired of all the people, telling me Camrys were grandma's cars and stuff like that. But I made it my own car. I didn't care what anybody else thought. Anyway, that was my first car, and I miss that thing a lot. How did I get on this topic? Oh yeah, that's what it was. When I had the Camry and I put the turbo on it and everything, I ended up getting a Stage 5 ACT clutch that held 500 and something foot-pounds of torque. And I was going to turn up the boost to 10, 15 pounds, and eventually build the engine and stuff like that. I mean, living in Houston's like the street racing capital of the world, and Texas 2K comes to town every year, so I thought it'd be awesome if I got the car to go out there and have fun with like 5.0s and stuff like that. So I did all that, and when I went to go put new gear oil in the trans, I had forgotten to bolt up the drain plug on the transmission. So I put like 4 quarts of gear oil in the trans, and it all ended up on the floor. So I was pretty pissed off about that. So that looks like it's not happening here. So that was like a 10-minute long story just for that. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. And I got ATF everywhere. Rip. Anyway, so I do have the all the ATF installed. So now it's time to put these bolts back in and snug them down. And there we go. We're set. So I'm going to go ahead and move y'all over there, and hopefully I can get this car to be backed into the garage, or not the garage, but into the driveway. And I'm going to air up this right or left driver's side rear tire and potentially take it around the block. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Fingers crossed. Here, I'm gonna watch the camera. The camera's recording.
Right now it is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're all right.